What is a new world? Okay, this is the game that, this only came out... I don't know what the fuck this is. I'll be honest, guys. I'm actually excited for this game. And I know that people might be like, ah, fucking idiot Asmongold, hashtag ad. But from what I saw of it, it looked good. Like, I want to play a new MMO that's good. I just don't want to play some dog shit ass garbage. That's really all it comes down to, man. What about Lord of the Rings MMORPG? We'll see what happens. This is the new Amazon made this MMO. Alright, yeah, we get it. The tree has Roman numerals on it. Let's just get down to 1 and start this.
You know what? I've never actually made a standalone video on Amazon Game Studios' upcoming title, New World. It's one of probably 5 MMORPGs that I'm really excited for, mostly due to the actual subgenre of being a hardcore sandbox game, and that just being my absolute favorite in the MMORPG space.
Alright.
So the reason for this video really is for 2 things. The first and the foremost is to let you guys know that New World is teasing something with a countdown now for the last couple of days on their Twitter, which we will analyze a little in a minute. And
let's see what this Twitter countdown is. Twitter. Let's see. I want to see what the countdown is here. New World. It's all counted down to this. Now I've got to watch another fucking thing? I've got to watch something else? Why can't we just tell me what it is, man? I don't want to watch Game Awards, man.
The second, to just talk about New World.
Okay.
For those of you who have no idea what it's supposed to be, and then what I want it to be, and just my general thoughts and feelings about everything. I actually don't follow any social media at all for New World for whatever reason, strangely enough.
This looks really good.
I also never played the game despite being in the alpha test phase.
Yeah.
Because when I got invited, I just started making YouTube videos, and I didn't think it would be a worthwhile use of my time to play a game that was heavily under a non-disclosure agreement, which I sort of regret at this point. I say that because I totally would have missed this update if it wasn't for a friend of mine who follows their subreddit letting me know.
People spam me about this,
They've
so I knew about
low-key
it.
started posting videos on their Twitter account with a tree slowly dying and a numeric countdown showing. This started at 5, and the countdown is due to end on Thursday the 12th of December, which would be presumably when they uncover whatever it is they're announcing. That's all we know so far. The community is speculating that they are going to be lining this up and announcing something at the Game Awards.
The map looks
which
interesting.
is on the 12th of December also. It's a pretty massive event and lots of eyes will be on it, but I have absolutely no experience with the event, so I can't actually say if they announce games,
I think it could be good.
Release dates or stuff like that. So just to say that's the pure speculation, that would be a nice coincidence if that's not linked. I think in October or November I made a video that was about which MMORPGs are still scheduled to release in 2019, because we all know quite a few delays.
Like, what do you guys think about the game right here? Like, just like the graphics. I think this looks good. I'd like to zoom out more. I don't like being zoomed in this much. But other than that, I think it looks pretty good. Mal looks like shit. I don't know. Like, it's like rust. Looks like trash. Looks mediocre. Atlas 2? Well, I'll play it this time. I would have played Atlas whenever it came out too. Looks soulless. I don't know about that. I mean, I think you have to see a little bit more of like the gameplay, you know what I mean? Reminds me a bit like Ark Survival MMO.
Have happened, and
never played Ark.
Some still have dates set of 2019, and it's 3 weeks away from 2020.
Yeah.
So I put that video together with ones that had hard release dates first, and then the ones that were least likely to release at the end. I say that to say this. I put Amazon's New World in that video, and I said, despite it having been in alpha and under an NDA, from what I've heard, the game was already polished and pretty much ready for launch. It just needed content adding and a few core issues resolved. So since then, the alpha servers have still been down. They took... That's
reassuring to hear, because usually nowadays they just put out the game. They're like, oh, you know what? We're done. Let's put it out there. See if they like it. And I fucking hate that shit, man. Whenever you have these fucking games that are getting released and they're not ready to be released. They're just simply not ready to be released. But they bring them out anyway, and you have to deal with the bullshit. I'm not a fan of that at all.
their forums down.
Early access.
People were basically wondering whether New World was dead or not. Well, I've been saying for a while, I wouldn't be surprised if New World was just randomly dropped out live with absolutely no crazy press tour or anything like that.
I wouldn't expect that from Amazon.
Like how Apex Legends was announced, where it just sort of appeared out of thin air and then it was just live, like same day. Now, maybe that doesn't happen with New World, and maybe this announcement is just
numbers feel
a beta
good.
Test or early access or a release
Hitting
date
a 300 on a turkey,
something like that.
I like that.
But I want to believe that I'm right on this, and I'm now going to take you on the wild ride down the rabbit hole of my thought process on this, and you can tell me if you think I'm actually insane or if this makes.
I feel like the game looks really good.
So look at any Western MMORPG release in recent years. What do they all have in common?
They suck.
Press, marketing, buzz, developer interviews,
They suck.
trailers, dev diaries. Ways to get your name out.
Oh
there,
yeah,
spread
that
the
too.
Good word, get people hyped for your game, right? It takes many years to build an MMORPG, even for established, experienced teams. So they fill in that time showing you stuff, so you then spread the word for them and you don't lose interest. Now, the reason I mention this is then compare all of that to Amazon and how Amazon Game Studios, and by extension their games, New World,
what if they're just bad at
Lord of the
marketing?
Rings MMORPG they announced recently.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot in common. They don't do a whole lot, to be honest.
I don't know,
the game
man.
sort of appeared out of nowhere.
I think this looks
hasn't
cool.
Had a great deal of press run at all. The studio in general is pretty quiet. They don't use their social media that much. Just think of this for a minute. They're owned by Amazon. They do not need media. They don't need the press to run the game.
They don't need
the
anything
hype.
because they're
They
fucking
literally own
Amazon.
the
Yeah, you're
second
right.
Most influential, arguably the first most in going viral, marketing influential platform in our demographic. They own Twitch. They are developing this game to.
It's true. I
integrate
have to
with
like this
Twitch.
game.
They don't need to get the word out.
I have to
they
like it.
will release the game. And
If
it will
I
be
don't like
seen,
it,
will
I'm
be
fucking
heard, it will be
banned.
talked about, and
That's all there
played
is to
because
it.
They will plaster it all over that platform.
Yeah,
all
probably.
of this leads me to believe that they will be just dropping this game, no fuss, very soon. If it's not before 2012, not before Christmas, it will be very early 2020, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. I mean, to be honest, it's totally plausible that I just somehow missed all of this news that New World's been putting out there, but I legitimately had to go digging to find their social media. Like, think of how big Amazon is and how big of a deal it is that they're about to drop an MMORPG, and it's basically their first PC game. That is also a
They've got a
survival
lot
game
of. They've
and
got
PvP,
high
which is a
expectations. I'll
massive
say that for
market,
sure.
and their Twitter account has 13k followers, 800 tweets, 1.7k subs on YouTube, and 0 videos posted.
Yeah, their
This is what
social
I'm
media
saying.
presence
They've
sucks.
literally done 0 advertisement for this game.
Yeah.
If you YouTube search for trailers of the
People
game,
didn't even know what
there's
this
no
is.
actual official trailer, guys. I think the only official one I remember.
It's like you guys are getting hyped up, like, oh man, watch Corecraft, or what is it, Core Punk? Sorry, I forgot what the fuck it was called. And they've got like all this stuff going on. They've got this interesting trailer. They're trying to do this like big media thing. Everybody's talking about it, and I don't know, like. I can't see myself being more excited for Core Punk than I would be for this game, right? It just looks, they put much more probably work into this game than they have than Core Punk. And, you know, here we are. Corecraft? Yeah, whatever the fuck it is.
Years ago in like 2016. Think about this. The game was pretty much feature complete in alpha, and they aren't even releasing trailers or advertising the game at all. They obviously very blatantly do not care about hype or build up. This all combined leads me to believe that they are about to drop some huge news. Either outright just bam, here's the game, or very, very soon it will be playable. One last thing to consider.
That'd be
also,
insane.
I went through their Twitter account and the Wikipedia pages with all the news.
Yeah.
When New World announced alpha, they literally just did alpha. They didn't actually announce it. They just invited a bunch of people.
Well, I think that makes sense because it was NDA, right? Like, why announce this super cool, like, amazing alpha for a game that's NDA?
And then a week later said on Twitter, yeah, by the way, we've been doing alpha since last week. New invites will go out periodically. And then ran alpha for 10 months with very little fuss or news. They just sort of appeared, dropped alpha, then vanished. So if they did the alpha with 0 announcement, no trailers throughout development, and not very much media, no teasers or announcement at all, what's so big now that they've suddenly changed their entire process they've been using for years, and they're doing a 5-day video countdown?
Probably because the people that are in charge of Amazon are up there thinking, hey, how the fuck does our game have no hype behind it whenever people get more excited for some dog shit game that was made with pre-made assets in a Unity engine? I don't know, maybe that's why. Maybe the people, they're like, you know what? Why don't we actually try and market the game? Seems like a good idea.
Mind, that's the smoking gun, and absolutely 100% this is either the release or the release date. Well, not 100% because I'm not a prophet. I just think if you look at everything together, it looks pretty likely. Either that or I'm the MMORPG equivalent of some guy putting newspaper clippings all over my walls like. Okay, so I guess I did this video in probably the wrong order. I should have explained what the game was first.
It's a good way to...
I'm excited.
You know,
so I guess if you have got...
You know, if you do that again, Kira, you can do this thing called editing, where you take the first half of the video and you put it in the second half, and you take the second half of the video and you put it in the first half. So if you really think that that's actually like on stream, it's harder to do, right? Because, you know, it's like it's live. But whenever it's not live, you just cut it differently. I do that all the time with the videos. It's not a big deal.
To this point without any prior knowledge of not what New World is, congratulations. You must be really invested in what I'm saying right now, and if what I tell you isn't good, this could be a lot of build up for you to just not care. So I'm sorry if it's now going to be a disappointment.
We'll see.
Well, New World is described as a sandbox MMORPG. What does that mean?
That sounds exciting.
People are attributing this game to being very similar to survival games, and that's also being argued against by New World players who are in the alpha, though they can't give much away due to the NDA.
Wait, they have wizards in the game?
If you're unfamiliar with the term, is a game like
and he's bald.
Daisy, Ark, things like that, where you're basically fulfilling basic survival tasks, drinking water, eating food, not dying to creatures in the wilderness, or the most...
Can we just talk about this combat here?
Dangerous one.
That combat sucks. Like, this actually sucks. Watch this.
Who are in the alpha, though they can't give much away due to the NDA.
Okay.
A survival game, if you're unfamiliar with the term, is a game
that
like
is just
Rust,
that is
Daisy,
awful.
Ark, things like that, where you're
absolutely fucking awful.
Survival tasks, drinking water, eating food, not dying to creatures in the wilderness, or the most dangerous one.
I really don't like the combat.
Not dying to disease, weather, whatever is in the game.
Shit,
to kill you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Your goal is to survive, to build a base, usually to hide your things in the base and protect yourself, and then to fight other players. Usually survival games aren't MMORPGs in the way the genre typically is, due to survival games having around 100 players or something like that on a server, and generally very light
have like
RPG
thousands,
elements, or very frequent wipes, or, you know, shallow progression. What New World is, on the other hand, I wouldn't compare with a survival game at all, really, since it's actually a large server with thousands of concurrent players on it, and is an actual MMORPG with progression, as well as then, of course, it then does have those survival elements, those building bases, taking bases from people, crafting, gathering, eating, stuff like that. It does have the survival elements.
Great.
But it also has a world that has more persistence, and with that, an actual economy, and then
we'll see how the economy goes.
A value to land, a value to wars, and a value to wares. So you crafting things, gathering things, it all has an overall value. So it will be a sandbox MMORPG, and then survival as well, in the way that you will need to consume things to survive, you will need to build bases, and those bases will be attacked, destroyed, and looted by your enemies. You will be crafting the gear you use in the game, you'll be choosing your style of play, whether that's a trader, a crafter, a gatherer, a mercenary, a monster hunter, a player killer, a spy, whatever it is you choose to play, that's what a sandbox is.
Yeah, where's the fucking raids, man?
Facilitate you immersing yourself in the game world and being something. Now, as for New World and how prevalent these features are, I can't personally say because I've not played the game. I've seen the gameplay that was leaked, I've spoken to people that have played the game. It seems to be a pretty mixed bag of responses. I think from the consensus I've gotten so far from my own anecdotal evidence, is that if you like sandbox MMORPGs or survival games, you'll probably really like New World, and then if you don't like either of those two genres of games, you could like it, but more than likely not.
Probably not
Otherwise,
going
you'd
to
have liked those other games. So the people who have played and disliked the game have essentially said, oh, it's just another survival game, which it may be. But the other people who have likely played more and stuck the game out throughout a lot of the
Whoa, look at the helmet. He's got the tier 1 druid gear on.
An MMORPG. I think that
got the antlers on his head.
This will really still be an argument when the game comes
He's a
out.
good-looking
It's
guy.
a common argument nowadays between games that are already out. Is it an MMORPG? Is it not? Is it this? Is it that? Now, for me, New World is exciting for a few reasons.
Why didn't you have this on the
First
whole
being
time? It
it's
looks
set in a
badass
very
now.
unique world that isn't typically seen a lot in games, so...
I'll be honest, like, seeing the antler head fucking helmet there, man, it actually improved my opinion of the game, like, double. This made me twice as excited for the game as I was beforehand. Just seeing the antler heads. Antler helmet's ugly? Yeah, but it sticks out. It's like you see somebody, hey, hey! You know, he's got the antlers on his head. That makes it kind of funny.
That's an absolute gold mine in my eyes. They really
2
hit the
times
nail
0
on the
is
head
0,
with the
yeah.
choice of setting. Now think about MMORPGs usually. They're not very unique in setting. It's some variation of anime kingdom, orcs and elves, low fantasy, medieval or sci-fi.
Which is all I want.
Very few
It's
exceptions
all I
to that
want.
rule, but it is pretty prevalent. So me personally, I love the fact it's set in the New World, the colonization era and everything that comes with that. It comes with the best of a lot of different worlds because you have the low fantasy, swords, armor and bows, the slow gameplay of that, the first versions of guns, which I imagine could be balanced since they were very slow. So immediately not something that would be guaranteed to be super broken as, you know, like an M16 versus some guy in plate and a sword.
Yeah, that seems a little bit overpowered.
Explosives for siege weaponry and still have use for the older stuff like catapults, ladders, stuff like that, due to people building bases out of stone and wood. So you have a lot of options to balance the siege mechanics in the game. Then you have the setting of the New World, which is absolutely perfect. It's a big, beautiful, untouched landscape with the mysticism of colonial horror, so werewolves, vampires, cultism.
That's
and
cool.
The undiscovered wilderness with giant creatures
Are we gonna have
never
witch
before
trials?
seen by man.
That's what's important.
They leave open the doors to have boats and naval combat, which again wouldn't be too over the top.
So it'd be like Atlas. Look how good that turned out.
They then, of course, have the money behind the studio and the platform to make this game literally too big to fail, which is always the issue with sandboxers. The reason I say this is an issue typically that sandboxers suffer is degrading player base due to cannibalization of itself and no new blood coming in. Again, Amazon owns Twitch, so anytime
the players make each other quit the game. I don't know, can anybody think of a situation where the player base made another part of the player base quit the game? I don't know if anybody can, you know, bring one of those up or have one of those come to mind, but this seems awfully familiar.
Need a boost in population. There you have it. They mess the game up, but push out a big new update that revitalizes the game and makes it.
Why doesn't this
way
dipshit
better
have
than
the
initial
axe
launch.
like the other guy
They
has?
have billions of impressions on Twitch at very little cost to themselves. Game is well received and integrated into the platform. Best case scenario, that's what happens, and we all know how quickly a game can go overnight with that. Think of BR craze and how PUBG went from basically an unknown game to being one of the most played and watched games in the world in a very short period of time through
same with Fortnite, actually,
jumping on the game and that advertising it.
Yeah,
sure,
same
I
with
think
Fortnite.
PUBG would have gotten big anyways because
okay, let's see this combat
at the
here.
right time, but I think Twitch played a huge role in how fast that was.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Size. 100%.
So for me, New World is one of my most anticipated projects, and the fact that they're teasing an announcement is huge. I think in my head, everything I've said in this video has made some kind of sense, and then there is a good reason I should be excited for Thursday the 12th. But who knows? You guys will have to let me know what you think of my theory. Am I mad or am I onto something? Let me know what you think of the announcement.
What do you guys think about this combat here?
Let me know what you think of New World. Are you excited for the game? Are you a sandbox fiend like me? Or
it's
are you
not that good.
Interested in the game? Just for me, myself, I'm super excited for New World.
Yeah.
And it's probably my top 3 of exciting upcoming projects.
Not about that.
Because if nothing else, it's a unique concept, which is my issue with the genre as a whole nowadays. It's been so many years of the same concepts done with money or new concepts done without money, which no matter how cool and interesting that concept is, they're usually doomed to failure due to the low budgets. Amazon Game Studios are going with
they don't
the
have that
concept,
problem.
The innovation, and they probably have
they've got a lot of fucking money
and unlimited marketing. That's something definitely to be excited about. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, play with my bell, join me on Discord,
play with my bell,
anything and everything, follow me on
Ew.
Twitter, and as always, a special shout out to the YouTube membership squad for the extra support. Chili Hui, Rowan, Miss Yun, Rams, Duo T, Jack, Angel, Joe, Marathon 5.
Was this a Pitbull song? Calling out all the fucking, like, it's like Pitbull at the start of every one of his fucking songs calls out 8 different cities. Like New York, fucking Los Angeles, you know, Dubai, and then he starts the actual song. Like, what does that have to do with anything? Well, he is Mr. Worldwide, so he's got to name out some places in the world. Yeah, Mr. Worldwide, man, you gotta live up to the fucking name. So, New World, what's this here? New World Combat. I want to see what the combat is like, okay? I watched this a while ago, okay? I'm actually, I'm excited for this game. I know this might upset a lot of people. Let me see. New World Combat. Combat and crafting. So, let's see. 10 months ago. This is quite a while ago. Large-scale PvP, things to know about. We're not even gonna basically listen to this at all. So, let's see what the hell this is here.
To work, we need players, a lot of them playing in the same world.
Okay,
it seems that lately some MMO developers decided to challenge...
Mute that right there. I don't want to listen to him, what he's saying. Just overall, oh, it's the same fucking clip. Oh, this is the video that he stole it from. What the fuck? We click on the one video the guy got his shit from, and now we're looking at this. Okay, yeah, perfect, man. Have you seen the Amazon Lord of the Rings MMO? No, I haven't. Until there's a trailer, I'm not going to get excited about it. So, over this game, right, what do you guys think about the game? I'm just going to go ahead and ask you guys what you think about the game. Cormont needs more gameplay, some BDO, combat's the same. Yeah, I mean, the only MMO combat that I've ever really seen that seems fulfilling to me in a way that's not just like the same old bullshit is something like Black Desert. I think Black Desert has some of the coolest and most interesting and flashy and awesome combat that I've seen in a long time. Now, the world itself in this game does look really awesome. I think the world looks really fucking impressive, and I like it a lot. But outside of that, I don't necessarily think that it's something to get particularly hyped up about until the actual alpha comes out. There's plenty of games that look really good, and then they turn out to be shit. So we'll see what happens. There's like a developer fucking interview. Where's the developer interview? Let's see what this is here.
If you guys would be so kind as to introduce yourselves for me.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, this is a voiceover. I don't want to watch that. That's going to be annoying to watch. I played the alpha and it was good. Combat is very physics based. So I just want to see a good. I want to see a new good MMO come out. I actually feel like I feel very disappointed that I didn't get a chance to watch. What do you call it? I didn't get a chance to play Atlas. I was very disappointed I didn't get a chance to play that game. I thought I had a lot of opportunities. I could have really enjoyed that a lot, and it just turned out not really to happen.